What do we have here? Seems to have encountered a trail crossing of some sort. Some fine, furry Yeti specimen has lost his mane. Let's go get out of here quickly before he comes back. Oh! I am not gonna run into whatever that thing was. There's a Yeti out here somewhere. No, I'm not gonna let him catch me. I jumped aboard his sled and he seems to be after me. This is the last review I ever do. I just want to say that it's really fun riding bikes. Oh yeah, a little racy. Super racy. Very fast. Oh yeah. Here we are. We're at the trail house. And you know what day it is? It's demo day. We're gonna go test out some of the Yetis. Oh, still love that Ripley though. Old school. Here she be.
Oh yeah. Excited?
Stoked.
You should be. You should be. It's a ripper. Yep, and if you find this is a little bit too much, you're familiar with the lunch ride version, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking I might end up fitting in the middle of both of them, but...
I have one of those waiting for me back at
Oh, you do? Lucky you.
I know. It took me a while to actually like make the decision and everything, but
yeah.
I just like lunch ride all the way.
That's awesome.
Like that, like happy middle.
It is, yeah. This is going to be cool to try because I did try the 130, so
yeah.
Maybe we'll throttle back after it. We'll see.
Awesome.
All right, quick 10-second bike check here. The Yeti SB150, full Fox factory suspension, DT Swiss wheel set, EXO SRAM drivetrain. We got the Ergon saddle, the Yeti's carbon bars and race face turbine, and the Code RSC brakes. Oh, it manuals. Howarth Park, City of Santa Rosa. Here it goes. Is this thing moving? Nope, not really. Dirt, rocks, shrubs, stumps. Maybe 31. Really not much heavier at all than the 130. See if this bike really is overkill or not. First 5-10 minutes, the thing feels strikingly similar to the 130. Not surprised. It's got a very stable, very solid platform. Almost hardtail-like until you need it. I'd probably never lock this thing out. It almost feels like those airport things when you're on the walking sidewalks and you're walking, but it's scooting more from underneath you. It's just propelling you. Very cool. Okay, very solid. First little DH here. Pretty playful for a big bike. Just wants to be ridden hard. Just point and shoot. Nice. Got up with that easy. one's a little stiffer feeling than the Firebird. And it's a little faster to sprint. So I wanted to comment a little bit. Hey, just on the stability and stiffness feel. It doesn't just erase and magically eat up everything like, say, the Ripmo does, and say maybe the Firebird 29. So you definitely feel a lot more feedback. Again, it might just come down to tuning the suspension on these things better, because they're just so sensitive. You just feel everything. So that's probably all it is. What do we have here? Seems to have encountered a trail crossing of some sort. Some fine, furry Yeti specimen has lost his mane. Let's go get out of here quickly before he comes back. Oh! Okay, I think we've lost him. Showing no more signs of Yeti fur. Oh God, just Yeti teeth. Oh, look at this. This terrain wants to devour me. But this thing just keeps moving, plodding along so effortlessly, as if there was no teeth at all. Oh, my goodness, guys, let's make it harder. Let's just go up the mountain. Let's just go straight up the freaking mountain. Okay, enough of that. That takes lots of energy. Whew. So I'm not sure if you guys saw back there. There's some serious leftover hair on that trail. And I am pedaling right now. I am not gonna run into whatever that thing was. There's a Yeti out here somewhere. And I'm not gonna let him catch me. I jumped aboard his sled and he seems to be after me. This is the last review I ever do. I just want to say that it's really fun riding bikes. It almost doesn't really matter what bike you're on. Just get out there and get away from the Yeti. He's coming. Woo! There he is, I feel him. He's breathing, Dominic. Fire breathing demon. Oh! Good thing it pedals so well. I'd be toast. The Yeti beat. All right, let's get up there now. Let's go see what this thing does. Going downhill? Yeah. Oh dear. Howdy. You know, the longer I'm on this thing, the nicer it starts to feel. Just takes a little bit of getting used to. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Very stable. It's very apparent that this thing is more capable than the SB130. Just takes a little bit of speed. I probably wouldn't really want the SB130 now, because they're not that different. And this thing's just a ton more stable. So yeah, after riding this thing, I'm not losing anything compared to the 130 as far as efficiency. This thing's extremely efficient. Almost more so, just because it is a little bit more stable and a little more long. Yeah, so this thing climbs just as good as the 130, really. But as soon as you start hitting speed, it's way more than the 130 could ever be. This has me a little bit curious just about the lunch ride. Because if the lunch ride bridges that gap, then maybe the 130 could be a little more fun. If it's just mellower. Thing's plenty agile though. If you want one bike to do it all, like, definitely enough bike. But it's so pedal friendly that it doesn't feel like a super crazy bike to own. Makes a lot of sense. If you really wanted something a little more efficient and fast and fun for flowy stuff, I'd probably just get an SB100. Overfork it a bit and have two bikes. But I'm not made of money. And I could probably can't even afford one of these. So it's really just for fun that I'm testing them. Even when I'm just cruising over the rough stuff, thing is extremely stiff. You'd have to spend a lot of time tuning this suspension if you really wanted to get a good feel. Nice. Still very agile on the rough stuff when you really want it to be. Oh yeah, very comfortable. Oh yeah, it's steep. Oh yeah. Wait, I want to keep going this way. Okay, here we go. Yeah, for how stable this thing is, I would just get this and have it as a one bike. Because the 130 is still a little bit too in between, and I think it's almost inconclusive. This review anyways. Because I do prefer this bike at this point, and that's just my rider preference. So if I was getting this kind of a bike, yeah, you bet I'd get the 150 over the 130, and I'd probably just have a 100 for practicality, but I'm no millionaire. It's a very fine tool. I mess with the air pressures a little bit. It was set up a little too stiff. I just let a little air out and definitely started feeling a little better towards the end there. So really got to take into mind when you're demoing bikes. Definitely a fun bike. Yeah, very stable at speed. It just likes going fast. Ooh. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun?
Yeah,
What do you
I think
130 versus this guy.
Well, I mean, after doing it last week with him, I wouldn't need a 130 if I had this thing. It's kind of just an eliminator of it.
Yep.
The 130 is kind of in the middle anyways.
Yep.
It's like a hybrid.
Yep.
So I would probably have like the SB100 for more mellow, fun stuff.
Yep.
And then have this.
That's where, if you can have two bikes, like
Yeah.
that's what Mikey has a 150, and he was like, I'm pretty sure like he wants to get 100.
Yeah.
And it would be like the perfect pair of the two. For sure.
Totally, because I'd be trying to beef up the 130 to get it to feel like this.
Exactly.
And this thing already feels great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of silly.
It climbs really well, doesn't it?
It climbs just as good.
Yeah.
There's no real difference to
Yeah.
me.
It's really insane.
I mean, they're about the same weight.
Yep.
And yeah, I actually softened the suspension a bit because it's so firm and like so stiff.
Yep.
You really got to tune the suspension a lot, I bet,
Oh, definitely.
to really home in
Once
on it.
Yeah, once you get time, like you can dial in like high speed, low speed, rebound, all that fun stuff. It'll take a little bit, but once you get it dialed.
Yeah, then it comes alive. And so, yeah, thank you.
Sweet, of course. Let me get your ID and credit card back to you. Did you want to try anything else?
Maybe. Now we're looking at the Yeti SB100. I kind of decided, executive decision after riding the 150, that I would get that bike over the 130 just because of its purpose. It's just too close to call, and I wouldn't want to cheat myself on the 130. So I would make that jump to the 150, and I would probably look at something like this, just for an everyday trail slayer. And let's give it a shot. So a quick 10-second bike check on this SB100. Turk frame. We have DT Swiss wheels, XO1 drivetrain, level brakes, ergon saddle, Fox suspension, Maxxis tires, and the race face stem with the carbon Yeti bars. Pretty drastic difference from the 150 to the 100, but rightfully so, you know. Nice little rocket ship, just like the Ripley. Okay, now we're in the dirt. Extremely responsive little bike. Every tiny little thing you do, it understands. Hopefully we don't run into any angry Yeti monsters. That last one was scary. Surprisingly similar pedaling platform with the 150. Obviously, it feels very similar, just a lot lighter and easier just to keep your momentum. So this is cool. Not quite as comfy feeling though, just over all the little stuff as far as small bump sensitivity goes compared to that Ripley. That Ripley just felt a little more fun on the easy stuff like this. I've been climbing this thing for a little while and it feels like a hardtail almost. Just how it's so light and nimble and very direct over every single little bump. You feel every bit of the trail. Nothing's being hidden. Nothing's really being damped that much. You have suspension, but it's working, and it's working for one reason, just to keep you moving the right direction. Feels very tiny. This is a large, and out of the saddle, just jumping up, standing up on the pedals. Let's see. Just very smooth pedaling. So it doesn't really feel like that shock's moving. I pointed the camera down so you guys can tell me. I'm about to stand up and run through this chunky stuff here. It's very efficient. I'm sure it was moving, but didn't really feel like it. So yeah, very easy to just spin on. You're not carrying too much weight. Let's see how this thing goes down. See if it's a little more agile. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, a little racy. Super racy. Very fast. Oh yeah. See if the SB130 could feel somewhere in this category where it's just a little easier to maneuver than the 150. I'd probably like it better, but it just feels so close to the 150 as it is. That's why I just get the SB150 and something like this. Okay, so after doing that little flowy, choppy descent on this guy, I have to take my hats off to Yeti because they spec'd this bike with a DHF tire on the front and the Aggressor on the back. And that is a killer tire setup. Same exact one that was on the SB150, but for this kind of a fun, lightning fast little bike, it makes a lot of sense. Got all the traction you need when you want it. Here we go again. Oh man, it is fun. This is a fun bike. You can just move it anywhere. Super agile. Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. If you're not doing super rough, crazy steep, choppy descents, this thing will do most anything and handle it well. It'll save and conserve your energy, allow you to play and enjoy the trail and feel the trail without over dampening it. This makes a lot more sense. Yeah, so I I by no means intended to hate on the SB130 at all. Just because for my riding style, this thing is exactly what I'd be looking for if I wanted less bike. And then I would have that 150. But if you're somebody who probably can't ever see themselves using an SB150, then the SB130 would make some sense, because it would be more than this bike. So where you'd feel a little more comfortable on some of the rougher stuff, and some of the steeper stuff, but you wouldn't have to feel like you have too much bike all the time. So I guess the SB130 does have that place for just the rider's needs. And for my needs, I would only want the 150 or this. Have I mentioned that Annandale is beautiful and that this is perfect riding weather? I couldn't have asked for a better day. Just come out here and get lost in the woods. All right, we're getting into some really rough stuff here. And it's apparent that it's extremely maneuverable and light and easy to pick up and move around. That's why this kind of a bike is fun. And I'm not one that would typically fit myself in this category of a bike, but it does make me check myself and ask, why am I riding again? Am I riding to race? Or am I riding to challenge myself and just to have fun? And I think that's the answer. This bike lets me challenge myself at things I normally wouldn't attempt. So that's cool. I could just kind of tackle this really rough, difficult climbing terrain and become a better climber in turn, because you're choosing good lines, you're trying to be smart. Oh yeah, that's tough. Bike makes it easy though. Wouldn't be a proper demo and review if I didn't struggle and have to push my bike a little bit going uphill. Because this is why we came here. To put this thing to the test going up and down. And with this view, how could you complain? We're gonna go down what I just came up because it was nice and rough. I figured it'd be a good test for this bike. Just see what it can handle and how fun it can be. chunky. Woo! Just pick this thing up. Move it anywhere. Hello. Thank you, sir. Step on the pedals and you're gone again. Pedal struck. All right, we're still good. Oh yeah, definitely fun. Keeps you alive and awake. Keeps you awake, that's for sure. Hello. All right. Super racy. Yeah, that makes it fun. Still very capable for a shorter travel bike. I think my conclusion sits as it is. SB150, one bike for everything, over the SB130. Only for me. And then this thing, just having fun on the trail, what mountain biking's about. Climbing, like a 9.8 out of 10. I liked that the grip was a little bit more plush feeling, a little more forgiving than this. So that one still sits at a 10 for me. But 9.8, it's basically, it's a racer's dream bike. Probably if you were more into hardtails and more into very firm feeling bikes, I'd go with this. The other one smooths things out a little bit, so it gives you a little bit more forgiveness. But be honest with yourself. If the trails you ride aren't that rocky and that gnarly, and they're more smooth, then just go with what makes you feel good. Because this thing is a rocket ship, and I'd ride this thing most places. I would just use the SB150 for my racing, for my enduros, because that's basically what that thing is made for. Very cool experience, and learn and understand not just the bikes but myself a little bit better too. So I really recommend demoing any kind of a bike before you buy it. Just give yourself a good feel for a couple different things and home in on what you like the most. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong being on two wheels. So light, you can just send yourself. Yeah, this bike's just meant to pump the terrain and feel like a little knife. Kind of wish that the SB130 felt more like this. So easy to move around. Yeah, I really wish that the Yeti SB130 felt more like this. Just a little bit lighter, a little more crafty. I think this bike probably surprised me the most by Yeti. I mean, I knew the SB150 was gonna be fun and brawler and nice, but this thing's just cool. For a lightweight, small trail bike, it's still plenty capable on most trails. Let's be real. It's just way more fun. I'm sure some SB130 people are probably a little bit upset with me from what I'm saying, but it's just my own style. Yeah, this bike's awesome. Hello.
Hello.
Oh yeah. That was awesome. I think that about does it. Thanks again everyone for watching. All right.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun. This makes more sense than the 130.
Yeah?
I think so.
It's very poppy. It's
so
like,
light.
It's an XC bike, but it's
right.
like a more trail-oriented XC bike.
Absolutely. Like, this is fun. It's great time riding bikes. So
Awesome.
thank you for everything.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
This guy out, and
Yeah.
then I'll grab your ID.
Cool.
And you'll be good to go.
Awesome. Thanks for your help.
Thanks.